Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning. Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome back to Shelburne RV. Hope everybody had a great New Year. So we're back here on a Monday. I actually got all the fencing done that I needed to get done over the break, 545 feet of fence. So quite a bit of fencing we got moved. So we're back here on a Monday. Dadgum phone system ain't working this morning. So we're here, but the phone is not. So, and then of course today's a federal holiday, so the people I use for my phone system ain't working today. So lucky me. So we got a basement air up there that Mr. Lewis is starting in on here right now. I guess it was just humming, making some noise, really wasn't doing anything. But we're gonna get going on that. As you saw before the break, the parking lot was kind of empty. I'm hoping it's just people were saving money for Christmas and doing all that, but we don't have a tremendous amount of work sitting out here. And in years past, I've always had a ton over the Christmas break. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting, but we're gonna find out, I guess. So I got to run down here to the shop this morning, see the ladies in the office, and then I will be back up there and we'll see what's going on with this basement there. Welcome back. All right, well, Mr. Lewis has been in here working on this Alpha. Now I can tell you several hours have gone by since my last video, and this has been an absolute nightmare to get out of here. Now I can tell you this basement area right here has never been out of this Alpha in all the years that it's been in there. And I can tell you that because of the way all the screws were put in here. There was absolutely no way that this has been out of here. Now, look at that evaporator core. Look how nasty that is. That thing hasn't been moving in the air for a long time. Along with all of that was in the bottom of the pan. So you can see this one here, this one's got the ALFA Pocks on the side of it. So this camper's been around a while, but this has never been out of here. This is the first time this unit has seen daylight since the day it was put in there. Now, you can see all the other coil looks good, but yeah, this thing has been in here. It's been in here since day one. So yeah, that's the problem with some of that stuff, is it's been in there for so long that, you know, at some point, I mean, it's got to get serviced. And I can tell you, Alpha, when they built that and then built that camper around there, because we actually had to go in there under that metal pan that was in there and go in there and cut the pan out of it, because it was, I mean, there was no way. I mean, this is why Alpha's out of business, because they built things so good that it was a pain to work on. And you know, that's just the problem you run into on some of this stuff. So I got to get a camper, move some campers around. I'm still short-handed. Mr. Wade is still in the hospital. He's been in there 3 weeks Saturday, so they're hoping he's going to be out in the next 4 to 5 days, but that leaves me short-handed still. So I'm out here having to help cousin Gary move campers around, so we're going to do that for the next few minutes. So kind of interesting, that big Solitude right there that you just saw me hook up to with the truck, or pull away from with the truck. The customer brought that up here and dropped it off to us today. Had a water leak, a light that was in-opt in the bedroom, and he took it down to the big no-name store, CW, and they wanted $90 to look at the light, $90 to look at the water leak before they'd even tell him what was wrong with that. Boggles my mind. I don't do that. Just bring it up here, we'll look at it, tell you what it's going to take to fix it. Just crazy money. Anyways, just thought I'd share that with you. So as you can see now, Mr. Lewis has got it all washed out, and that's mo better. So he's got that washed out, and then we're going to hook the power back to. We think we got a problem with that outdoor fan motor, but now that he's got it all rinsed out and it actually looks like it might actually work because it's clean, we're gonna let it dry out here a second and then put the power to it and see what it does. So we had this little impact toy hauler that came in, and these impacts, I've seen multiple ones of these where the wind, this gets loose and the wind gets behind it and rips it off. And that's what it has done here, ripped the phylon off of this thing. So we've got it all cleaned up now. And obviously you can see this is, this phylon is laminated to a piece of this 1/8 inch board. So we've got some new phylon coming, and we're gonna laminate that to the board, and then we'll get it all glued with the red glue, and then we'll put all the turn bars, the doors, the windows in. And then right there, we're gonna put in a piece of T-strip to tie those together. That's the only thing you can do, because that obviously was one piece originally, and that's not gonna work out. The customer's okay with that. So this is a low-cost solution for his problem. You can see we got the impact pretty much ready for phylon. We're just waiting on the phylon to come in, and then we can get all that glued back on. But today's project is an Avenger made by Primetime. And this one came in with, surprise, surprise, a floor problem. So you can see that's all rotted out right there. So first thing we're gonna have to do on this is we're gonna have to go in here and pull all this out so we can peel back the linoleum so we can see how bad this is. But more than likely vacuum bonded floor, so it's going to be a little challenging. But once he gets all this pulled out and we get this peeled back, we can see where we're at on that floor. So we're back here on the ALFA basement area, and Lewis has got all this put back together. Now the noise that was making, we could not get to reproduce that noise outside, but now we did go in here and change that outdoor fan motor bearing. Now you remember how nasty that coil was, and so now we've got it running here, and he's got 8 amps on that compressor, and then his thermostat just shut off. But here's your outbound temp, 46 degrees coming out of there. So right now we should have, and we're 8. So our amp draws are in the ballpark of where we need to be. We've got good heat on the coils. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and put this back in the unit. I'm gonna say it's good to go. Mr. James has been working on this Avenger here this morning, and they've got all of the rot pretty well cut out of here. And you can see there's plenty of structure in the floor right there. Now, that's obviously a little bit of a problem, so we're going to have to do a little work there, and we'll have to scab some pieces on there so we have something to screw to. Same with over here and along this wall. But he's got this to a point where we're going to get it sprayed down with some mold and mildew stain remover and start putting the wood back in it. So back before the break, we had this 70s model Airstream come in, and this gentleman has got a floor problem back here in the bathroom, and Mr. Lewis has been working on getting everything out of here because he wants to do a complete remodel. Now you can see that's a problem, all rotted out of there. But Airstream was real good when they built a lot of this stuff. All this is riveted in here, so all those rivets have got to be drilled out, along there too. All this stuff's got to be drilled out, rivets and all that. And we're taking all this out real gently because he wants to keep it, but he's going to remodel this in a different way. So he wants us to get the floor fixed, and then him and his daughter are going to come in here and tell us how they want to do the remodel. Back on the Avenger this morning. Now James was working on this a little bit yesterday, and I didn't get the video done after he had the floor fixed. But as you can see, he's got the new LVP all laid in there, and he's just working now on getting the trim. He's got the bed reinstalled, so now he's working on the trim, and there's a quarter round. We're going to put it down around the edge. So coming along pretty quickly on this. All right, so just to finish up video on this Avenger. Now you saw where this floor was all messed up, and Mr. James now has got everything put back in here. The floor turned out awesome, nice and solid. Put a little quarter round around there because they had this cheap stuff right here, which, I think the quarter round turned out a little better myself. But that's all finished up and ready to ship back to the customer. So about 2 months ago, I guess, this reflection came in, and he had actually hit a gas pump all the way down this thing. trying to get into a gas station, and we've been waiting to get these parts. It's taken at least 2 months to get these parts in. But Zach's got everything painted up on here. He's got that fascia was all destroyed, got that on there. And then we've been waiting, I guess, about a month or so for the awning to come in. So the awning's in today. We're gonna get that finished up, get that out of here. But you know, that's the problem when you deal with OEM parts sometimes, is, you know, it just takes a long time to get some of that stuff in. So they've got that done, and they'll have it done here in a little bit and get it out of here. But yeah, it's the way it goes sometimes. All right, well, it's Friday afternoon. I tried to get a bunch of video stuff we had going on up here, but it's been quite the busy week. Now, you heard me at the beginning of the week talk about how slow it was, and you know, we hadn't had a lot of campers come in over December. I think we had 32 campers come in December, which is really off for us because normally I'm over 60. So, you know, obviously there's stuff going on in the world, in the industry, that's slowing some of that. Now, you know, I've talked to several of my friends in the industry, and they're all saying the same thing, that it is, you know, it is slowing down. Obviously, interest rates have got a lot of the selling on hold, and you know, I didn't have a lot of stuff come in December. Everybody was I think everybody was just holding off. Now, just this week, and this comes back to why I haven't shot a lot of video this week, we actually had 18 campers come in this week, so it's been quite a busy week. So hopefully things are kind of changing for us, because again, all we do is maintenance. Little update on my service manager, Wade. I've been kind of talking to you guys a little bit about that. He's been in the hospital for 3 weeks, had some issues going on there, so he is finally home. So hopefully he's going to be back. Probably won't be back next week, but maybe the week after next. So looking forward to having him back, because I've got other projects I need to be working on here at the shop, and it's hard for me to do all that when I'm in here working. But it is what it is. Just gotta, you know, this is stuff I'm glad you guys get to see, because it's, you know, this is part of the small business world that we deal with. I mean, it's just, you know, some days it's, you know, it's hit or miss, and other days you just do what you got to do. So anyways, let's go in here. I want to show you this Airstream that Mr. Lewis has been working on. We're kind of getting down here towards the end of the day, but Mr. Lewis has made some good progress on this Airstream. So let's go in here and check this out real quick. So you guys seen in previous videos, Mr. Lewis been working on this old Airstream we're tearing this bathroom out of. He's made some pretty good progress getting most of this stuff out of here. Right now, they're just kind of working on getting some of the subfloor loosened up. Now, this floor has actually been repaired once already. Whoever did this had peeled all this out, and then when they put the floor down against that framework right there, they actually bolted it and then peeled that stuff back down and riveted. They put rivets in there, and you can kind of see they've done the same thing over here. So we're just taking apart what they had actually put in here, and then they'll go in here and you know, get all the new Avantech flooring cut out and put in here. But you can see they've got quite a bit done and getting that done. Now, the other thing we've got to do too is that air conditioner. That is the original air conditioner from when this camper was built, and he said it's kind of acting up. So we're going to get that changed out, but you can see all the interior parts he's got pulled out of here. I mean, this is, you know, this is quite the trophy trove of Airstream parts. Hot water heater is out of it, but you can see where the floor was all rotted out of there. So Mr. Lewis has kind of got that set out there as a little bit of a template, so that way he can somewhat figure out how to put it back together, but it won't be no big deal for him. You can see all the insulation and everything they've got out of that. But yeah, just kind of working our way back to getting it where we can start putting the floor back in. Well, that's going to finish us up here this week at Shelburne RV. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Shout out to my friend Mr. Corky. You know who you are. He called in today and got him some new shirts. So there's my shirts, guys. If you need a shirt, call me. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Remember, this video is Cousin Gary approved.